What Nibbles? J-Dog's back, and we got fucking L-Cat back, too.
What's
It's been a
up?
while. And today, she's going to be reading off the questions like she does, and it's on the video. Why does anyone care if another person likes or dislikes a band that they do? Fuck if I know, but we're about to find out. And it's posted 3 weeks ago, goddamn it, with 154 comments. So let's see what the fuck's in there.
All right, ready?
Yep.
All right. So, Calls from the Beyond asks, question J-Dog, what are your thoughts on bands re-recording old albums? For example, Impaled re-recording Dead Shall Dead Remain, Exhumed re-recording Gore Metal, or Vader's Dark Age. I think it's cool to hear a fresh perspective on those albums as the band's intended, but also see why older devils who love the original recordings would dislike it.
Yeah, so actually, I somewhat commented on this before,
Oh, okay.
and it's funny because the two you mentioned, the Impaled and the Exhumed, were the two main candidates that come to my mind. Because I know, like, didn't Destruction do it and Sodom as
Yeah.
well? I think so. I don't actually know if I've officially heard of them. So I'm like, oh, why? And the Exhumed, so I have the double disc where you get the original recording and the re-recording. I did like the Exhumed. I definitely liked the original way more. I didn't think it was necessary for them to re-record it. The release is cool though. You get a lot of commentary and interviews with them back in the day. I think it was with Matt. Also, I think Cole puts comments in there too, and I think also Mike Beams. Can't remember if Ross Sewage did or not, but maybe all of them did. And so they put all that in. It's cool to see their take, and it's obvious as to why they re-record it when they're talking. Because when that came out, even when it first came out, they thought it sounded like shit, which is kind of mind blowing to me because I thought it sounded fucking great. And I've always said it. Bands are their worst critics. You know what I mean? Sometimes they don't understand the masterpiece that they created. That it's a piece of art.
Right.
Like I guarantee. Well, I don't guarantee, but I'd be pretty much willing to bet, at least at the time, maybe they go back and they're worse. Someone like Jeff Passeri probably thought, when Beyond the Gates came out or something like that, he probably thought like Seven Churches sound like shit. Beyond the Gates sounds so much better, but Seven Churches is such a masterpiece. Now he probably cleaned up his act now if he was asked now because he realized that that's what he's fucking most known for, and that's what inspired all these bands. So I don't see it being necessary for that reason, because it was fucking great in my opinion. Impaled, I didn't like the re-recording at all, to be honest with you. The Exhumed, I at least liked it. I thought the original was fucking sent home on a
I didn't think it
stretcher.
was bad.
And the Impaled, I thought was bad was because, especially with that album sounds so fucking heavy, and it's got like the old school Swedish guitar mixed with like grindcore sound with the rawness. That's what really gave it character. And because they cleaned it up on Mondo Metacaldi, the second album, which I like that album quite a bit. But I think that the reason I don't like that album as much is because it doesn't have that brutal grit sound like the first album did. So yeah, Dead Shall Dead Remain, I did not like the re-recording at all. The Exhumed, I at least liked it, but thought it was far inferior to the original. But I'm sure that's the bands that they think that because they think that we could do better now. And it's like
Well, we kind of talked about it in a previous episode that I did with J Dog is bands that don't want to pay homage to their old shit like Hellhammer. They think it sounds like shit. And you're like, well, that's why I started listening to you.
right,
I
and
mean,
that's
as you get older and you.
no, but Exhumed did say it. I think I don't know if I've ever heard a Pale say it, but I can totally see him saying Exhumed definitely thought the core metal sounded like shit. The drums were buried and et cetera, et cetera. And I don't know. It's like that was the piece of artwork that came out, and I thought it was fantastic. And I think the fans at the time thought it was fantastic. I guess they're allowed to do whatever the fuck they want. It's their band, but I don't think it was fucking necessary. Now, and at times where it could be, I'm trying to think of an album that like a re-recording might be suiting. Nothing's come in my mind classic wise. Well, let's just say if you're talking about a demo like the first Mayhem demo, Pure Fucking Armageddon, which is literally unlistenable because you can't even hear
Right, yeah,
you can't even hear
terrible.
you can't even hear the vocals. There's a difference if that was their only record that we're recording it. Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah.
But of the classics and shit, I don't know. I don't really think that there's anything that I don't think that nothing that's striking my mind that I thought, yeah, this album needed to be re-recorded. So
Nice. All right. So this is Jacob Brockman. Hey, J Dog, have you ever seen Victimizer in concert?
fuck no, they never even been in the states. I mean,
No.
I would love
Yeah.
to. I think Craig did, or it was either Victimizer or Church Bazaar, because I think Nunslaughter played with them, and they stayed at Yen's house. Yen's was, for those that don't know, He was the vocalist for Church Bazaar and Victimizer. And I know they definitely stayed at his house, and he was always bragging about the house that was built in 1777, like
Right,
at
like
the Abigail
Melissa.
Fall.
Or, sorry.
And
Abigail.
so he thought he had bragging rights for that, which is cool. And he, Denmark. So
Yeah.
I never got to see him. They never been to the States, you know what I mean? And especially makes sense because what are they gonna do? Come to this fucking shitty ass DeLand, Cleveland, and it'd be a bunch of fucking deer and headlights, dick in the mouth. Never even fucking heard them, but yet there'd be 200 people at 200 stablings, you know what I mean? So makes sense to why they haven't been, but no, I never seen them, but I would love to. But now both bands are done and gone, so J Dog missed the boat.
Yup. This is Life Eternal. You ever do any hunting, fishing, or any outdoor activities at all?
Nope, don't do any shit like that. My dad and stuff's into that, and
Your
that
brother?
plays. Yeah, they kind of got into it with him as young, but I was never the one that did. It's just was never my interest. I mean, as a very very young kid, yeah, our dad, we went fishing and stuff like that, but it was never something that interested me. And then hunting, never got interested in it. On whatever, some people's hobby, they like it. If that's cool, that's what you're into. That's what you're into. It's just never interested me, so I never did it.
No, we like a hotel, not a camping ground. No, not at all. Human brisket, as usual. J-Dog question. Is there a backstory on getting that Pro Fanatica Sickened by the Holy Ghost CD to be on a 7-fold packaging? Was that the band's idea?
Had a band in between the band, Ledney and fucking Chase. Maybe I personally hate when bands do that, just because it's a collection points of where the fuck am I gonna put it. Yeah, it looks kind of cool, but it's like I don't really want to put it with my 7 inches because it's not a 7 inch and can't put it on the CD shelf because it don't fucking fit. So it's at least cool that they offered it on both the regular Jewel Case CD and the 7 inch shape packaging. But that was more than likely their idea. Maybe collab with Chase and. But yeah, I'm personally not a fan when bands do that.
I actually like it.
If
I think
that's
it looks
now,
really
don't get me
cool.
wrong. If that's all, if it's an album I want and that's all they released, yeah, I would pick it up still. But it's not what I would prefer personally.
Well, I think it was done really well. The fold-out
No, it looks
package.
nice.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
yeah, it looks
beautiful.
nice. But
So, yeah, I would
it's
definitely
just
put it in
hard to
my
store in your
collection.
it's just hard to store in the collection.
I think it's cool. Put it with your 7 inches at least. At least. Goad Taunter. I think that both Immolation, Dawn of Possession, and Cannibal Corpse Butchered at Birth invented brutal death metal. Do you agree?
I mean, I don't. I think it'd be hard to say that any one or two bands did because I mean, do you mean to say that they invented over suffocation? I mean, that's a little hard to
Yeah.
say on that because they would be in that category. Did they invent it over Mortician? I mean, Mortician already had their demo out in 1990. That was brutal as fuck, and that was before Immolation, and I mean that was before Immolation and Butcher to Birth. That was 1990.
Right.
Um, you had Baphomet, the Dead Shall Inherit. Was that 91, I believe? 90, 91?
90. Right? 90?
That's definitely straight up brutal death metal. So did they create over that? A little hard to fucking say that with over that. I mean,
So
uh,
you disagree?
yeah, and then they've got
Okay.
Sinister Cross the Sticks. That was probably 91 as well. I think that is 91. 90 or 91. Pretty sure it's 91. Um, that's straight up brutal death metal. That was the same time as Dawn of Possession shit that they created over that. I mean, it's kind of a tall order to say that. You know what I mean? So no, I wouldn't say that those two. I would say that those are two of very early brutal death metal albums that are for sure at the fucking forefront, along with a handful of others. But I wouldn't say
So
it's just those specifically only those two.
in the
No.
comments of that, a person says human waste would have to be on that list too. Do you agree
So,
with that?
well, yeah, it's
Yeah,
his first
yeah, okay.
suffocation.
And then suffocation, yeah. So lots of other people in his replies also said
Yeah,
suffocation.
because Human Waste, I'm pretty sure is 1990. Correct me if I'm
Yeah,
wrong. And then I believe Effigy of the Forgotten is 91 as well. I mean, I mean, some people would. It's funny because you said Dawn of Possession. What I always heard, especially guys like Dave Ingram, Avoid Meditation Call and stuff, he would say because he was there at the time. He got more into black metal around that time because he does like Suffocation and Immolation. But he's like, literally, he's like, dude, once Effigy of the Forgotten came out and Butchered at Birth, he's like, every band wanted to sound like that. So it's funny how you said Butchered at Birth and Immolation. It was actually, he said it was Effigy
yeah,
and that as the brutal
yeah.
thing. Every band is like,
Well,
what the
we don't
fuck?
know
They just
how
all want
old
to sound
this
like that.
guy is
Yeah,
either.
so
Right.
I think, yeah, those two albums, you're definitely right. Those are
So how
definitely
old
songs.
are you, Goad Taunter?
Yeah, those are definitely in there as far as the albums that started it, but there's others that would be with it as well. So that'd be my answer to that.
All right, this is Matt Savios. I'm going to say Cavios.
You can't beat, yeah, something like that.
I'm sure you already answered this question,
What is it?
but hey J Dog, what is your favorite Giza Flush album? I'm sure you've answered that.
Trading Pieces most likely. I'd have to say Trading Pieces, but the first four are fucking. They're very, very, very close. Path to Weakening, Gradually Melted, and Breeding the Anthropophagi. I think they're all tens. But if I had to pick, probably Trading Pieces. But that was also the first record I heard, so probably Trading Pieces.
All right, this is Suffo Death. What's your opinion on regular people that wear corpse paint or dress as metalheads for fashion? I always found it really annoying, but even more annoying now that Stranger Things made a skinny ass wimp become one of the most talked about people in the world. Now regular people seem to dress up as us. Almost seems insulting to our culture when most of us grew up this way. I answer a
Well,
little bit?
yeah.
So I find the Stranger Things funny. We don't watch it. We tried one episode. We couldn't really get
The only
into
reason I
it,
was trying to watch Stranger Things, I heard, was the season two. Kai Green's in it, which is an amazing,
but we
amazing.
couldn't get into
Well,
it.
he's an amazing bodybuilder, and we got to see him compete at the
Right.
Olympic shit. It's just that guy's personality is nails on chalkboard. He's a fucking phony baloney
But will
sandwich.
what I will say about Stranger Things and the funniest thing that's ever come out of it is my sister-in-law and my brother listens to rap. My brother listens to rap. My sister-in-law also listens to like country and rap, and she's like, "Have you heard that Metallica song?" And I was like, "What?" And she was like, "Yeah, it's on this Stranger Things. It's the most crazy thing I ever heard." And I was just like, "That is the funniest fucking thing I've ever heard in my life." So I did watch that episode.
Yes, what Metallica?
Yeah, because she was like, "Well, oh, that's super hard, right? You guys must sell it." I was like,
Well,
"Oh,"
how the fuck do you not hear Metallica prior to that though?
because she listens to I'm sorry, to country and rap. She wasn't, and she's young. She's young.
Is Ashley?
Yeah, yeah. So she's young. So it was just like it was funny, and then I went back and looked, and now all of a sudden, like people are really acting like they like Metallica. Whatever.
What's that got to do? Of course, my question to them though
No,
is,
so they're trying to like what he's saying is that they're like regular people are wearing that as
yeah, I know, I get
fashion.
what he's saying,
Yeah.
but my question to them would be, why? What are you trying to represent? Like, why are you wearing that?
I
Like,
don't
what's
think
your
they
reason
know.
behind it?
I don't think they know.
Well, then you're just
Yeah.
like, then honestly, you're a useless tool, in my opinion, that doesn't have a brain to think for himself, or you have no passion for anything, because it just doesn't make sense. It's kind of like the guy that wears the sports jersey but doesn't even follow the game, doesn't even listen to watch the sport.
It's the exact
They're
same
just
thing. Yeah.
fitting in, kind of like, oh, this I
Right.
guess is the cool thing to do. It's like, but you don't even like them.
Like
You know
all
what
of
I
a
mean?
sudden Halloween is really popular. People are like buying shit up and it's like, why? Because it's on
Yeah. I
Instagram
mean,
or
whatever they can do, they want. I
TikTok.
just think they're, yes, it's brain dead
Yeah.
fools that have no passion for themselves. That's the
Did
way
you
I think of
ever
it.
wear corpse paint?
No,
Never.
never.
Any of your brothers?
Nope,
Not one time.
not one time.
No makeup.
No makeup.
Okay. All right. Just asking.
Just telling.
People that want to know.
Here's your answer.
All right. So
Find a photo of J-Dog course paint. Won't be found. Unless some canoe
Photoshops it.
photoshops it in there.
All right. This is from Dinkins. Hi, Dinkins. Uh, question. Why do you think musicians complain about these things like bootleg shirts rather than get the message and start getting merch deals together? If the shirts were available, there would be no need for bootlegs. Cut your losses and fix the situation is how I feel. Oh,
So
I love
that's
that.
what we
Yep.
said too. So for
Love
years,
that.
I'll be honest. So we get a lot of our bootleggers. We get from a lot of this supplier, and the what reason we did is because he was putting out good ones. And we knew, well, number one, they sell, so it's like in the metal distro, and I like them myself too. So as a collector, I'm like, a lot of the designs are cooler. And in the very early days, we were getting ones from Mexico, and the print quality was
The
shit.
city.
He was doing tons of cool designs. So the guy from Mexico, he was doing, like Monstrosity, Imperial
Yeah.
Doom, First Two Pungent Stench, Gore Guts, Baphomet, Gore Fest, tons of cool shit, right? But you get in, the print would look like ass,
Or those
and
banners
what he
too.
would do too, that's a totally different topic.
Well,
But
they look like
but
shit
but
too.
that's a totally different location topic. But anyways, the back would be it would have lyrical quotes, kind of like a tough guy phrase, which whatever, nothing wrong with the tough guy phrase every once in a while. But the problem is, come from it, he would have misspellings in the fucking words. I remember on like Gorefest with a line, yeah, no one bothers to thinking for themselves. He put no one brothers thinking for themselves, just dumb shit. So the print quality's ass, misspellings, crooked. So when we found a person that does a bunch of boots but does good quality, it's like we'll just get them from this guy. So people are doing them anyways, and a lot of people, true metal fans want them. And exactly what you said too, as far as the bands, I'm like, and as far as the bands complaining, I'm like, put it out yourself and we won't be done. You know what I'm saying? Like you don't see anybody bootlegging like, let's say current Cannibal Corpse shirts are Midnight or New Immolations. Why? Because they're fucking available. Make it available. And I will say this though, what I have noticed is a lot of bands, when they're doing stuff through indie merch, Bandcamp, or they're having somebody do a in-house stuff for them where they're not having to do the work, they just get a check. A lot of the bands have been complaining a lot less because they're getting out and they are doing official, or it's just kind of like, yeah, they beat me to it, or and it just put them out of business and start putting it out yourself. It's official merch. That's what you could tell. King Diamond did that with a lot of his official merch line, and when they're
He
doing the
just put
merch
a
for
lot of
Faith,
those.
and it's because a lot of people are bootlegging the shit out of it. It's like, well, dude, I mean, you're not making the old stuff available. Of course, people are. It's classic stuff. People want it. And I was like, so if you're not going to do it, well, then a fan's going to do it. So either shut the fuck up or do it yourself.
And those
One or the other.
amazing King Diamond, Abigail, and Fatal Portraits are at Hell's Headbangers. Just check them out. All right, so this is just a comment. I'm going to read it. Ready? Wendy Timpton. You don't care that others have different opinions than you. Sounds like you're a mature adult. It's unreal the number of man babies and women babies on YouTube who cry over opinions. Very much enjoy your channel.
What I like to hear, goddamn it. Yeah,
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't like for me. It's just like this is what I like. Take it or leave it. And now, of course, I'm going to talk about the stuff that I like and dislike
Right.
because of my fucking channel. What the fuck else am I going to talk to? I'm not going to sit here and talk about the weather. You know what I mean? So it's my interest. Take it or leave it. Maybe you have similar interests. But yeah, when someone says like, for example, they think Cannibal Corpse sucks and it's a bunch of hot topic homos, I it doesn't bother me. That's
Right.
fine. Doesn't bother me.
Ricky Jones, Daily Devil Question. Good bands that only have done 2 albums.
A lot of bands have done one album,
I know,
like
but nope,
Walls and shit
two.
like that.
Two.
So clarify. Not they only have two good albums. They did two albums and they're both good, and then they stopped.
Yeah.
You getting replies? Fuck, I can't even.
Really? You're drawing a blank?
Yeah, because bands like Baphomet, I wouldn't put
All
them in
right,
there
you want
because
me to read the
they
replies?
did like
Ready?
they did Banish, yeah,
That's a good one.
Wehrmacht.
Yeah.
Yeah, Wehrmacht. I mean, they're a great band. There's a band I never got
Well, you did. Yeah.
much into. Oh, Epitego. Yeah, there's a perfect one as far as two full lengths. Yeah, Epitego.
Well, but I would never put that in the, well, like when you say it, I wouldn't have thought
Because
that.
they have other releases, seven shit. But
Exactly.
as far
Yeah,
as they only have two full length albums, so yeah, Epitego. That'd probably be the
Even
Kings, right?
Havoc Incubator, but
Yeah, but they're still
no.
active and they'll do
Yeah,
another
yeah,
album. So that's a little unfair because I mean
yeah.
they will do another record. Matter of fact, I think they have one scheduled for this
So
month.
Super King said Dark Man. I'm not
Yeah,
familiar with
they
them.
they have Season of Unrest and their second one. Actually, I'm not familiar with. It's like what .3 or .6 Season of Unrest, and then the EP. I have that. That's all I have. I never heard the second one to be to this date, but Season of Unrest, I'm a huge fan of. The EP is good too, but a lot of the songs are just are on the full length. But I've yet to ever hear the second one, and it's pretty much long out of print. Because when I found out that the second one even existed, I didn't even know it was years later after it. But because when I picked up Dark Moon, the two CDs that were out, the EP and the album. It was at the Dark Moon show. They played at the Fantasy. Total ghost town, nobody there. It was me checking them out for the first time. Met John, and then John, did helped out bands like Nile and shit like that. He's into bodybuilding too, so that was cool. Big as fuck, dude. You don't see that too often.
No.
He was into a couple other things too. I forget what, but I don't know what John does now. But yeah, Dark Moon. Theoretically the second one I would like as well because I think Season of Unrest. As a matter of fact, Season of Unrest I've been wanting to do on vinyl for years. And Tommy at Redefining Darkness, he knows John. He has his number. He even texted him right in front of me. He's like, "Oh, I'll ask him for you right now." And it comes down to who owns it, like Olympic or some
Right,
fucking
yeah.
poser ass Sony corporate label.
Yeah.
Now it's a bunch of posers.
Could happen.
And Johnson's like, they own it, man. I don't know. And the thing is, it's annoying. They'll never put that out because it's like, what? And to their defense, kind of why would they? Well, they get if 500 LPs, that means jack shit to them. They're putting out God knows what, fucking, you know what I mean, thousands and thousands of copies. So it's annoying. More fucking posers in the fucking way, gunking up the works that it won't happen because I would love for Hells to do it would have to be a double LP because it's like a 60-minute disc and a reissue CD too because there's a lot of devils and they're checking out a lot of this shitty ass fucking black metal that comes in. I'm like, what is this fucking garbage? And Dark Moon sends it home on a goddamn fucking stretcher and they never heard it. So it needs to be available to them too to show them what some fucking real black metal sounds like. Put some fucking hair in your nuts, goddamn it. So yeah, could put Dark Moon in that category.
Well, I also had another one, but then it was the last comment, so I'm going to give him credit. Is Human Brisket said a Dinkins Carnivore. I mean,
Oh yeah, that's an
yeah,
obvious one.
obvious.
Yeah,
It didn't even come up in my
yeah.
mind.
That's what I'm saying. You draw a
Yeah,
blank, and I know that
yeah.
exists, but
No,
Epitag would probably be the king.
thank you guys.
Second, probably
Yeah,
Carnivore for me. But
right? Crazy.
there's definitely others. There's probably
Well, let's move on.
no. That
Ready?
was the last goddamn question. We're 20 minutes, so fuck off. And comments, questions, concerns, you know what to do. Put it in the goddamn comments box. We'll see you tomorrow. Later, goddamn it.